it's Kim from Kim Dixon Creative. I am here today with Not Too Shabby, and I am going to be demonstrating the stamp and die of the month for the month of October. Just a little note about the hop. This is a hashtag driven hop, and you will find the hashtag in my title as well as in the description box below. It is hashtag N2S Christmas Part 2. This is also a giveaway hop. The prize is a $25 gift card to the Not Too Shabby shop and will remain open from October 7th through October the 13th at 11:59 p.m. And the winner will be announced on the Not Too Shabby channel. To be eligible, you should follow the link below to the raffle copter and put in all the information on that link. But also, we need you to follow the hop, watch all of the videos, and comment on each one of the videos. And as a little side note, if you're not subscribed to the channels that you're hopping to, please do so. We would love to see you there, and we would love to have you as a member of our little family. So as you can see, I'm using the stamp and die of the month. I'm going to have some pink cardstock that I'm going to use. And then over to the left, I have some glitter cardstock that I'm going to use. Going to make a pretty little card of this beautiful girl. And y'all, this stamp set is going to be so versatile in your stash, because not only is it going to be great for Christmas, it's going to be great for weddings, for proms, for quinceaneras, all kind of stuff. So really, and I mean just little girl birthdays, because she looks just like a Barbie. So all that's great. So what I am going to attempt to do is make a somewhat shaker card. I'm stamping out the window with Memento Tuxedo black ink, because I will color these in with my alcohol markers. I didn't leave the coloring in because I want to focus on how I made the shaker part. You can see I have ink all over my hands. If I touch an ink pad, I'm going to have ink all over me. But I'm going to try to demonstrate how I do the shaker. Now, I stamped and colored the girl out just like I did the window that you saw me do. So I'm taking my craft knife and just trying my best to go and cut out the window part of this stamp set. In retrospect, what I wish I had done was just fussy cut all of that away, and then using somehow using a permanent marker and drawing onto my acetate. I don't know if that would have worked. I wish I would have tried it, because I think that would have worked out best. Because the window panes in this little stamp set are very tiny, and I did get too close on one of them, and it tore as I was cutting. So, but now, I mean, I was able to glue it down, and you can't tell it by looking at the card. But I do wish I would have tried that, and I probably will go back and try that again and see if that works. Also, you'll see later on in the video, I realize I don't have any acetate. I like to keep acetate sheets, and so, I mean, it worked out fine. I repurposed an older storage envelope that I had into my acetate piece, and it, like I say, it worked fine. I like the more stiff acetate when I'm doing shaker cards. So, it takes a little while, a little patience, and you'll see my desk is not level, so my little X-Acto knife keeps trying to roll away. But I also go in and kind of clean up each area with my scissors, and I think that may have been what happened when I tore one of my little window panes. Again, it turned out fine. once I put it down on my little acetate, I was able to glue it back together, and you can't tell it. So I'm just going to continue cutting with this craft knife. And I'm all the way to the end now, getting that last little piece out. This is not a kind of card that you would want to mass produce because it takes some time. But it was so worth it when I got done. It was so pretty. And I know exactly who's going to get this card because she's all pink and girly, and she will love it. She loves anything that's got a shaker on it, and anything that's pink, and anything that her Grammy gives her. So she always, when my granddaughter comes, she always wants to know if Grammy has a card for her. So this will be her Christmas card. So now I'm going to cut out my images with the dies, and I'm just going to kind of secure the die with my little washi tape there. And I think you can see over to the left which one of my little window panes got torn. That one on the top in the middle, it just it got torn. But again, I think it's going to, it turns out fine. So I have my images cut out, and I have my little 2 acetate pieces that, like I say, I just took a little storage pouch, a stamp storage pouch that I had, and cut it. And just trying to get this fit to size. It ended up being about a 2x2 square that I needed. So if you try this, you'll know it's about 2x2. I did go in with my Memento Tuxedo black ink marker and kind of color in those edges on like you would if you fussy cut something. I mean, we fussy cut that just not with scissors. So now I'm going to glue my little window down to my little acetate plastic pouch piece. Just adding a few little dots right in there so that it'll adhere. That's the one thing about this plastic pouch that I noticed that's different than acetate is it doesn't dry as easily. It takes a little more time. So I'm getting that piece right there put back together. There was a little more dry time involved with this little plastic pouch than there was with that if I'd had actual acetate sheets. I'm going to go in with my foam tape and get that built up so I can have a place for my little well for my snow that's going to be on the outside of my window. And so the other thing about doing, this is a shaker, you have to know that bottom area, what we would call, I don't know if we call it windowsill, down at the bottom is very thin. So you have to cut a very thin piece of foam tape for that area. And there's different widths there that you're covering. So it's not just lay down a layer of foam tape. You have to cut several pieces, which means you have to be careful to get them butted up together. And I had a couple of places that didn't meet. So I noticed that the glue was coming. When I get done, I noticed that my shaker stuff does not stay in. So I just took my art glitter glue tip and just kind of squirted some glue in there and let it dry, and it actually worked. So I just have some Nouveau white glitter. It's just, there's nothing special about the glitter. I just want it to look like snow. I don't have any other clay pieces in there or anything. It's just straight glitter. And then I'm going to put my second piece of acetate on the back to hold in my glitter. Now, this is a little trick that I learned. I do better to make my shakers like this and then glue it down to my project than if I had, a lot of times you see people just glue it straight to your card, but I envelope it into 2 pieces of acetate. So I want to make a little scene behind our girl, and I need a floor. So I took a blending sponge and some Simon Hurley ink that in the color Gur. I wish I would not use that color. I wish I would have tested my colors a little better, because it ends up looking a little bit, it has a green tint to it. It's fine, you know, but I wanted it to be more brown. And so I wish I would have just tested my colors a little bit better. But I just put that piece of painter's tape down there so I would have a crisp line on my ink blending, and just getting that blended in. This is always the fun part. Such a nerd. So now what I want to do, I want it to look like there's maybe white paneling behind her. Old-fashioned, you know, that you would find in an old farmhouse. So I just took a pencil, and every half inch I drew a line. And I don't want a crisp line. I want it to be very blurred. So I go back and just rub my finger around and just smudge that pencil a little bit, and it really makes it look kind of neat. It looks like it's, you know, paneling, and it gives it some depth and dimension by smudging that pencil. And I was pretty happy with that. I actually borrowed that idea. There's a lady that I follow, or a couple of girls that I follow, that do like wood rounds and stuff like that, and do, you know, home decor. And that's how she does shiplap, you know, faux shiplap. So anyway, here I go. This is where I mess up. I mean, royally mess up. I think I want that glitter paper behind there to help it continue to look like snow. But what it does when I do that, you can't see the glitter in there as well. So I wish I would have left that off. But I'm just testing my shaker here, and that's where I noticed that I've got some places that didn't actually hold. And so I go back in with my glue and do that. And now I am putting it on the front of my card. Just going to put it there to the kind of top right side. And because that's popped up, I want my girl to be popped up so that she's level with my piece. And I figure out where I'm placing her, because there's going to be a section of her that can't have foam tape, you know, because you want it to be glued down to the window or to the curtains of the window. And so I just eyeball that, and I get her attached, and now I want a sentiment. And I think I'm going to just stamp this "Deck the Halls" straight down to my card. I want a sentiment, but I don't want it to take away from all the other stuff I have going on. And then all that's left is to glue her down to a pink top folding card base. And I think she turned out pretty awesome. Thanks for spending some time with me. Don't forget to go by and check out the rest of the hop. The hashtag is in my description box as well as in the title of the video. Follow all of the participants in the hop and comment on their videos. Come back to this video and go down to the Rafflecopter link below in my description and register to win a $25 gift card to the Not Too Shabby shop. Again, it'll be given away on October 13th, and it'll be announced over on the Not Too Shabby YouTube channel. Thanks for spending a few minutes with me. I hope this brought value to you and inspired you to create something. Just remember, we are created in the image of God, and He created a beautiful world and filled with beautiful people. If we're created in His image, then we should create beautiful things too. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.